y'all want to pay? Of course.
Right here, everyone is here. Hello, everyone.
Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Where's everybody from? Nashville. Ooh, anybody here farther than Nashville? DC might be a little farther. Anybody top DC? We got a national group, huh?
Oakland.
Hey, town business.
Deep East.
Alright. Love it, love it, love it, love it. Ain't no folk like town folk, huh? Alright, well, welcome everybody to the town, as we affectionately call it. I guess hope everybody's having a great conference so far. Are we on day 2?
Day 2. We had some yesterday.
Well, I hope everything is going well. Most importantly, I want to thank everybody for coming out on the Black Liberation Walking Tour. Thanks for hooking this up, Chanel. Appreciate you.
Thank you.
Just a little bit of housekeeping. I forgot my watch. I think we need to be done by 6.
Yes.
Got a 6 o'clock pickup, and the bus knows where to pick you up at over there.
Yes.
All right, we'll get you over there to that spot by that time. So we'll be a little bit flexible. Normally the tour takes 2 hours, and Jackie is keeping me tight schedule. Frequently it takes 2.5 and I get to rambling, but I think I got some good stories and information to share. But we'll get you over there in an hour and a half. So that means you're gonna have to skip some stops. So we'll play it by ear. I have an outline of where I think we can make it and where I think we can't, but we'll just adjust to make sure we get you over there at the end of it. All right, first a little bit of housekeeping before I tell you a little bit about myself. People drive crazy around here. My sister's from the east, though. I see some head shaking. So just be conscious, as we're crossing the streets, on the sidewalk. Just pay attention, and very importantly, watch where you step with your feet. There's unpleasant things on the sidewalks in some places, so just be conscious of that. This is an urban environment. This is a shorter tour, but there are no public restrooms along the way. So hopefully you haven't had too much to drink before we got over here. But again, it's a shorter tour, so I think we can make it. In case you're wondering where to get this wonderful, beautiful Black Liberation Walking Tour swag, you can find it on our website at WOCAN.org. And you can also link to the tour from there, or you can find the tour at BLWT.org. It's like Black Liberation Walking Tour. You'll find all the audio we're going to hear today, plus some more bonus clips, plus the audio and the text and the links for the sites that we aren't going to stop at. So if you want to go, you can go all the way down the rabbit hole here. There's text, there's links to other historical information, and this tour was actually originally conceived as a self-guided walking tour. So you can share it with folks and they can take the tour from their desktops. Let's see what else. We are #OakBLT on social media platforms. Please interact with us, follow us, comment on our posts. Give us some feedback. Many people find out about the tour from interacting with people who have interacted with our social media stuff. And then take pictures. Add your pictures, tag us, BLWT, and then leave us reviews on those sites as well. The one thing that's not the same is our Facebook site. That's Black Liberation Walking. The other social medias are hashtag BLWT. I think that is the housekeeping bits. Before I talk about myself, I'll let Jackie, my wife Jackie here, introduce herself as our co-tour guide today.
Thank you everyone for making the trek across town to be here. My name is Jackie Peters, as Dave said, I'm Dave's wife, and I'm just filling in on the tour. This is not my regular gig. His co-host has not been able to make it, during the summer. Anyway. But I'm here to keep us on time and on task, because I know you got a schedule. Dave is known to just talk a little bit longer, but that's because of his passion and love for Oakland and wanting to share and let people know that there's rich history here in West Oakland. So I'll turn it over to Dave so we can get the tour started. Thank you.
I think y'all heard me whispering. Jackie is the co-tour guide. I lured her in with, as a temporary fill-in. She's done so great, she's gotten promoted to permanent.
I heard it here.
We heard it.
Hey now.
Exactly.
100% raised from love to passion. I tell you, gotta love it. All right. I founded this tour, I guess it's 4 years ago, perhaps now. Jack and I was born and raised not far from here. We'll pass by our block. Moved back here 7 years ago, and of course, struck by the change. My neighborhood looked nothing like it used to, at all. And folks, sat on my grandparents from the South, sat on the front porch, sit on the front porch now, wave and speak to everybody that goes by. Whole bunch of folk not only didn't respond, they wouldn't even look up. And I was like, hey, this feels crazy. You don't get to walk through my neighborhood and not speak. I will speak, I will wave, or yo, you gonna talk to me. But then I started thinking about this. I went, well, I can be hurt, I can be mad, or I can do something. I can say, you know what, they just don't know better. Because this is a this is a particular cultural tradition. A Southern cultural tradition that is common throughout Black communities throughout the country. We do the nod all around the world. Folks do the nod. And so I founded an organization that just began a mission just to try to meet as many people walking by as I could, just preserving that culture. And this tour came out of a desire to preserve and transmit that Black rural Southern migrant culture that my grandparents are a part of, who were part of that so-called second Great Migration during World War II, of folks who were escaping, who wanted a little bit less, sorry.
Not as you move.
Oh, I'm sorry. Who wanted a little bit less Jim Crow and then a little bit better education for their kids. And so Oakland in 1940 was 3% Black. Had about 8,000 Black residents, and it had been here, since the 1850s or prior, when the city was founded. But while mighty, small numerically in number as a part of the population. 40,000 Black folks, primarily from Texas, Louisiana, and Arkansas, came to Oakland during the 1940s, and 40,000 more came in the 50s, and 40,000 more came in the 60s. And then 40,000 more roughly came in the 70s. So combined with white flight to the newly opening up suburbs, Oakland went from 3% Black in 1940 to about 80% Black in 1980. It was our peak percentage. Peak quantitatively, numerically, was in 1990. Today we're down as a percentage, but down to about 20%. The only racial group whose percentage of the population is actually declining. So, there's lots of reasons that have been, gentrification, but gentrification don't seem to be affecting non-Black poor people to the same extent it is us. So that's interesting to me why that would be. My grandparents, like so many others, met and married in the South. They were both from farms in the rural South, met and married in Houston, Texas. My grandfather went to welding school during the Depression. Graduated from welding school. There's no job for Black welders in the Jim Crow South. right? This is skilled labor. There's no black skilled laborers during Depression era Houston. And so, you know, stayed in Houston for a while. World War II broke out. His brother-in-law said, hey, man, there's work for black folk welding in the shipyards in Portland. They jumped in a Model T, bound for Portland, ran out of gas in Oakland in 1942, and my family's been here ever since.
Wow.
Ran out of gas. So there's gas rationing coupons during World War II, and they ran out of those coupons here and stayed. Found work eventually in the shipyards, and then my grandfather was a machinist for 30 or so years here. And everything that entailed with auxiliary unions and just segregation. We'll touch on some of those things. But, you know, made a life here, and here I am back again after all that time. Hey, what's going on, brother? Amen. Sharing, so that's a little bit about me, and I'm really passionate about this tour, about Oakland's history, particularly about West Oakland, where 80% of the black people in Oakland used to live at some point.
I'm not from Oakland.
She's fascinating. Born in Jamaica, went to school in Poland, and don't say it? Okay, I'll ask her what she told me not to say. Ask her. It's a funny story. She hates me to tell her. It might have something to do with chocolate. The kind you can get, chocolate bars. Trying to make jokes and threw myself out. Oh, passing around some materials related to the spot. We've got Taste of Power. That is Elaine Brown's memoir of her time and her life up through her chairpersonship of the Black Panther Party. Amazing woman. Just opened a affordable housing complex down the lower bottoms of West Oakland. Powerful, a Renaissance woman.
Feisty, yes.
Feisty! Somebody knows Elaine. I love me some Elaine. She cussed me out more times than I can count. But just powerful, just a poet, an activist, an organizer, a writer, plays a brilliant woman. Powerful force of nature, and she was able to impose her will on this group of macho men that were leading this paramilitary organization, the Panthers, and get them to mind, and got out alive. And it was under her leadership that a lot of the material programs, survival programs, were built out. Another book going around is Soledad Brother. Those are the collected prison letters of George Jackson, the dragon of the party, who was a political prisoner. Part of the Soledad Brothers, was eventually assassinated in prison during a so-called escape. One of the things they said is he had a gun that he was hiding in his afro. Kind of crazy. It's a wild time in American history. So those two are going around. There's a bonus clip here with Elaine talking about George Jackson's funeral, which occurred here. His younger brother Jonathan Jackson's funeral was here as well. And then I would tell you that this church is one of the most important Black Power sites in the world. And we'll hear a little bit more about why it is shortly with this clip. So one of the things that's important to remember, how young so many of them so-called Little Bobby Hutton, the first treasurer, first martyr of the party. He was 17 when he died. And so many, once really the material program started, breakfast program, ambulance, sickle cell anemia testing, ambulance services, 80 some or so survival programs, 70%, about 70% of the party were women. And an overwhelming majority of these were young people between 18 and 22. Who were sacrificing, serving is probably a better word, their communities with deep love and for no money. It's just amazing, made an amazing impact on this country and the world. All right, before we listen to this audio piece, I just wanted to share around two pictures. One, we've got actually a photo that was taken here, the breakfast program that occurred, that started here and then spread around the country. And we've got the Panther 10-point program there below that. Many of these things, some of these things were borrowed from elsewhere. They all still make sense. And then we got a photo of some of the folks we're going to hear about. So we're going to hear from Father Neil, who was the reverend, the pastor of this church at the time. This was one of the Panthers' headquarters and meeting places. And then we've got Ruth Beckford, who is an icon in the American dance. She has had an important influence on Oakland as well, and actually introduced Father Neil to Huey Newton because she knew Huey's girlfriend at the time. I think she may have been a dance student, and was instrumental in helping to found the breakfast program and get it off the ground. I'll pass. Well, rather than take that out, I'll just start passing that around. All right. So we have a really unique opportunity. So we did this tour, myself, Gene Anderson, and Liam O'Donoghue. Liam does East Bay Yesterday, an amazing podcast about East Bay history. We're the folks who put together the historical and archival information with a large team of other volunteers that did all the other things to pull this together. We actually were able to find Father Neil, track him down to South Africa. May he rest in peace now. And we're able to get this audio piece you're about to hear. So, this is original historical research that we did as a part of this tour. So we're going to hear from Father Neil talk a bit about his experiences with the party. Father Neil. Oh, you're going to hear him mention David pretty early on. No, of course not me. David Hilliard, who was the chief of staff of the party.
The party had been looking for a place to meet because every other place where they had met, they were being harassed by the police. So I told them they could meet at St. Augustine's, and that was in January 1968. Then that next week, they started meeting there. On the April the 3rd, there could have been a bloodbath at the church because the police tried to raid the church. They said that they had seen a man with a gun running into the church. And then when David and I went to the door, when the police were at the door, there were about 10 squad cars out there with 2 men to a car with their shotguns. And David and I told them no, they couldn't come in, but to describe the person. And we didn't allow guns in the meeting. So we had a standoff there. But then the command sergeant finally came and, we had a discussion. Then he told the guys to break, and then they left. They probably went around the block, but anyway, they went out of sight. And we had been having community forums every Sunday afternoon at church, inviting persons from the community to come and speak, be it the Black Panthers came, Peace and Freedom Party came, other community groups came to share what they were doing in the community to inform the community, just what was going on in there politically and community-wise. And the police chief was supposed to come on that Sunday, and the shoot-in happened in West Oakland, where Bobby Hutton got killed and Eldridge Cleaver was wounded and was arrested. Bobby had just gotten killed by the police, Bobby Hutton. And the party knew that the police chief was supposed to come, but he had called me that Sunday morning and said because of the shootout that had happened in West Oakland, that he had to cancel, which he did. But while people who had come to the Sunday afternoon forums, we were there and we were grieving Dr. King's assassination.
Who was definitely afraid of the Panthers, definitely afraid of my interest and idolization of them, because Panthers went to jail and got killed. So it was not something that she would have aspired for her little boy, her little grandson to be a part of. But once they started doing these kind of material things, their acceptance in the black community just really expanded amongst older people. Our breakfast program was so popular and put so much pressure on the government that they started doing free and reduced price breakfast. Lunch was certainly breakfasts. Demonstration kitchens, they got a culinary program for students in addition to cooking all the meals. Nice grounds, there's some empty land over there that we thought we were going to get our library back on. But what happened is we lost our only basketball court in the neighborhood that was part of the middle school. So the neighborhood wasn't happy about that, and there were some other things that went on that the neighborhood wasn't happy about when we got this building. I'll kind of stop there. Stopped here because I wanted to look at this building. This is Kalu's Linen Service on the side. This is very architecturally distinctive. The original building dates from the 1880s. That wooden structure burnt. This is from the 19-teens. When I was going to elementary school here, this was still a laundry, a regular full-service laundry. It operated as a laundry into the 80s. You know, laundry trucks coming in and out. There's condos now. So you think about it. There were a bunch of laundries in this neighborhood then. Well, before the invention of the automatic washing machine, laundry is a big chore. And so, you know, middle-class families that had enough means would easily ship out their laundry to a commercial laundry and had it done, or have a domestic, like my grandma was when she first moved to Oakland, and have, you know, a black woman come in and do the laundry inside the house. They stayed in that laundry business for a long time. Have any big parks? So we know that there is a correlation between community health and access to green space. And according to Oakland's Police Parks Department's own statistics, this is the most underparked neighborhood in Oakland per capita. Because we got a mini park, along with another mini park.
Watch your step, folks, as you're going to turn left.
Yeah, agreed.
Now, y'all was all gay.
Welcome to MLK Junior Way, formerly Grove Street. Grove Street was the site of Oakland's first electric streetcar. These streetcars were important in the 1880s or so. These streetcars were important because they helped knit together the former community, which later became Oakland. I just want to draw your attention to the street here. It goes through this freeway, and it's an amazing story of being able to recapture a family home at a time when we saw so much predatory mortgage foreclosure in this neighborhood and so many other neighborhoods and other neighborhoods. Okay, what's going on, April? So there's murals here on the building. We've been on for a long time. Here is the mural program. Murals here. Not here?
I'm separate. I love them though. They're wonderful.
Yeah. So we got a real treat, and I hope somebody is capturing some video of the artiste at work here. This is Third Eye Soul Kitchen. And so the sister that came out said hi, David is the proprietor here. This is a community space. But if we look down at there's two young men down at the end. The young man in red is Annette Miller's son. The young man next to him is both lost in their violence. Miss Miller is someone who works in violence prevention and is actually was nominated for a local Emmy for work that she had done on a movie about mothers who had survived gun violence. A sad and tragic theme that we see too many across our neighborhoods. So just wanted to pause here briefly to check out the mural. Thank you for doing that work.
I used to live across the street, just to give you like a little recap of why. That's fancy. Hi everybody, I'm Marina. I used to live across the street actually from my person. This was a really sad wall. It kind of just looked like that, and like people had graffitied over it, and people used to have their memorial sites here. So COVID hit, and I thought I was gonna have all this time, and I was like, yep, you want a mural? Right there, paint. So this was the focus was kind of, well actually you should talk about it, Empress, like, you know, what you had started doing for your religion, and initially you were with Yamanja, so, but you have a particular part of that. Who's featured on the mural right here?
Wow.
Hey everybody. They call me Empress around here, but my birth name is Shanae Chung. I'm born and raised in Oakland, California. My family actually used to live on 29th over there, so I've seen this neighborhood turn drastically from all kinds of stuff that I won't bring up. But needless to say, when Marina came to me and up with Ogun, so I don't know if any of y'all know about Ifa and the Orishas, but I started to learn a whole lot more about the Orishas, the road of each deity, and what their involvement is in the spiritual world. And at the time I thought that Yemonya, because I wanted to get pregnant, I wanted to have a baby, and I know that she's all about like the ocean and the rivers. And you know, a lot of the times when you hear about Ifa and the Orishas, you hear about Yemonya and Oshun, and usually you hear about them so much because it's all like sweet and golden and all that. But come to find out, the one who actually had my head was Oya, the one you don't hear about, because she's the one of the darkness, the dark goddess, and that's why she's represented right there as the eggplant. Oya is the one who is the one who represents the ancestors, the death and the rebirth, and she's the mother of 9, who actually had 9 miscarriages, and was the one who took care of the children of Yemoya and Oshun. There's many different stories, and again, each deity has their own road, which if you are initiated, everybody has their own road, and you can choose which one to go down, and it always changes. Then you have Alegba, Eshu, who is the deity of the 4 corners. As you can see, we're on a 4 corner. So this is why Eshu and Alegba is here. And yeah, I'm pregnant now. So that's, and it's, thank you. And it's so interesting because after she put Yemoya's head up there, I ended up getting pregnant. So, which is the mother of fertility and things like that.
And this is my mom who's helping.
Yes. So it's just kind of deep how I learned so much about a mural, because to be honest with you, the 2 young boys that were murdered down there at the end, I had to get approval from Babalaos and Iyas to even get them on there, but because of how they were murdered, it wasn't appropriate to mix them in with the Orishas, which is why you'll see them at the end. And with murals, if a lot of people understand how murals are placed, they are magic within themselves. So this is like extremely a powerful mural that is becoming completed, but it's actually going to move because I'm moving. I'm no longer going to be here on this block. I'm shifting my life around in my career path a little bit, working with children and mamas and doulas and womb work, which is mainly what I'm focusing on now. We still give out produce to the community every Sunday, but it won't be here. We'll be doing it at Marketplace now and taking this mural down there because I don't know who's going to own this building, so I'm taking the mural with me. But yeah, that's me in a nutshell.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Right. Ashe.
Thank you, Empress. Ashe. All right, we got a rare treat to get all that, see the artists in action, to hear more about the history of that mural than I've heard before. Let's keep it pushing. We're on a tight timeline. So stressful. It's there all the time. I saw a study that said there's a correlation between constant noise and increased blood pressure. And we know that heart disease and hypertension are one of the leading killers of black folks in America. So you get, that noise pollution, of course, you get all the exhaust from all the cars, you get the road dust coming up, and it rains, all that washes off. You get into the storm drain into the bank. So lots of pollution comes from these freeways. We got our park, our biggest neighborhood park over here at Grove Chapter. We just chopped up into 3 spaces. Really courageous woman. And again, we've heard so many stories about these courageous women here. Both now.
Delilah L. Beasley's home in Oakland. 703-705. Author of Negro Trailblazers of California.
Up at Cal, in the Bancroft Library there. And then traveled around the country to be able to look in local archives, talk to elders, interview people, put together her book. This was in watch your step here, there's a big hole where this cover isn't there. This was a time of a lot of racial violence in Oakland and throughout the state of California. In 1920, Oakland hosted the largest Ku Klux Klan meeting in the history of California at the Oakland Auditorium. It was also a time when Sidney Geary who came from I think New Orleans, early in the 1910s or perhaps late 1890s, and opened first a restaurant and a restaurant club, the Southern Creole Cafe. It was very successful. We operated that and then moved it over to 7th Street and did quite well. And then became moved to bought a house. Is quite successful. Didn't want to. He wanted to give his kids better food. And he wanted to get to a big, nice, suburban house. Just have that street where they moved it. Seen this big old giant house with a chimney, and thinking she was going to be a fairy princess. And they envy everybody at school, and then they got closer. Alright, this is our last stop. There's the bus. Here's our mural. If you pull out your phone, open that app, and get the right distance away, which typically is like right off the curb, maybe about here, you'll see a little white circle open up when you know you're the right distance, and then it will do its thing and play a little video clip, and you'll hear the artist talk about it.
Subject matter that I feel has been underappreciated, underrepresented. So even growing up, I did see a lot of murals of black families or little black girls empowered, like even just girls in general. So there's a whole plethora of new subject matter, not even new subject matter, but I feel like subject matter that just hasn't really been touched, or hasn't had his chance to be on the big stage for the whole community, whole world to see. So even in my murals, yeah, I like to do a lot of indigenous subject matter, a lot of African subject matter, a lot of empowered youth, empowered, little girl subject matter.
Yeah, come on in, there we go.
I have 5 children, so it's a underlying message in everything that I do, to find the beauty in yourself. Get to really know yourself, know the powers, know your weaknesses, and put your best foot forward. So, the same message that I have for my team, the same message that I have for my children, is the same messages that I want to portray in our murals to the world, to communities that we painted.
Wait, don't move, I gotta get mine.
Black Liberation Walking Tour to really just be the visual depiction or even the eye candy of the tour. So you have the historical sites, you have the houses, but you need some murals that actually depict the story of the Hoover-Foster community, so that way people know what it is that they're engaging. I feel like there's some great artwork, but it just all needs to be tied in together, and that's what I feel like this walking tour really is gonna help do. Just kind of like tie all the great history, all the great murals in together.
Oh my stop. Thank you.
And I got a promotion.
I should check it out. I didn't know about that. Yeah, it's really good. That's awesome. Yeah. So I want to thank y'all for coming out. Thanks so much for choosing us to come out on a tour. If you're not from here, welcome to Oakland. Enjoy your time in our beautiful city. I know you guys are booked, but again, this is a wonderful place with a deep and rich history. I'll leave you one tidbit. People often wonder where the Panthers. People think the Panthers came from nowhere. The Afro-American Association. Look them up. Have fun, y'all.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Enjoy.
the rest of your event.
Thank you.
And whoever, get home safely. Drive safely, fly safely.
Yeah.
And hope we'll see you again.
Thank you. Can I take a picture with you?
Absolutely. I want to sign up for one.
Awesome. Yes, please. Love that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, did you see? Because it's like a circle, then what?
Thank you.
Then it will show
It'll animate. Yeah, it'll animate. There's audio that goes. So Dorothy Beckford is at the top in the white there. So we saw a picture of Dorothy Beckford. Ruth Beckford. We saw a picture of her at the beginning. She started the first urban dance program.
Oh, you didn't have the name? Okay, thank you. You can post it to us. Okay, yeah. Awesome. Thank you so much.